I want to interview men and women because, as I said, the real man is obviously for guys, but it's especially for women. You've walked a road. You haven't been born with that silver spoon in your mouth. You've made mistakes.
Yeah.
And as the question I always ask, I say, if Duane was 17 and he met this Duane.
Yeah.
Now, someone once
What would you
said,
tell him?
be the person that you wish you had around you when you were 17. So
I've never heard that before.
So if you were 17, who was the oak you wish you had around, and to tell you what?
Yeah. Wow.
Based on what you have learned.
What I've learned.
That's the conversation
Yeah.
I want to have with you.
Well, that's easy enough.
The saying is,
And I love the fact that I've never heard it put that way before. Never.
okay, cool.
So there's nothing preconceived coming out of my brain
That's
immediately
it.
because of it.
That's why I don't want
Nothing.
to. I don't want to script it. I don't want
I
to.
didn't think you would.
Even Lizette said the other day. She said to me, "So, what subjects, what topics?" I said, "Just get you. If you got the balls to sit down with me and have a chat, you know me. You know that nothing is coming out of me. I'm not going to hurt you or harm you. In fact, and this is truth. What's going to happen is whoever sits in that chair, if I, through what I do, can get you bookings, can get you gigs, can get you engagements in any way,
It's fantastic.
all the power to you.
So it's
You know what I
a
mean?
bonus.
So I'll be your agent,
Yeah.
and I'm just exposing you to a whole bunch of people that maybe you weren't exposed to, or the ones that
Absolutely.
you were.
Sure.
That was like a refresher because they haven't used you in a while. You're telling me you're doing all this new stuff now online, which is just flipping blowing my brain because I'm sitting at home going,
Yeah. Because
I'm a live speaker. Dwayne, that's so cock. Talking to a green
It is
light.
impossible.
I stand in
most
the corner. I
important.
built that whole set over there. You stand there and it's a green light, and I'm going,
Dude, I can't.
"Yo, so you said Thursday," and you look at it and there's nothing.
There's
There's
no
no
reaction.
laughter. There's
Nothing.
nothing. And I'm going,
how long do you wait for the clapping to stop?
It's
You
not-
don't know.
And it's not.
What do you do?
And it's not even crickets. It's
No,
nothing.
it's
It's like,
nothing.
here I am in my little room by myself.
Because it's not crickets, because it's literally recording something. It's nothing. It's a void. It's a dark,
horrible,
black,
eh?
deep hole.
That's horrible. Eh?
And it's hard at first.
But you were doing it. You were.
Oh,
you
yeah, every
You've
day.
taken it to the. So first of all, before we even go any further, I want you to punt that.
Yes.
What are you doing with the guys? How, I mean, you spoke about it in the kitchen, so I've heard this before. Okay, but I want you guys to know because I think it's brilliant. In fact, I wanted to do stuff like this, and I don't know why my brain just couldn't come up with it.
Well, now the truth is, once we've had this conversation, that pathway will be made very clear to you as well, because it is a very simple thing. It's using the talent and the abilities and the faculties that you already possess in this online world, which is where I think the big thing was how do I translate, like you've said now, trying to be a speaker, trying to motivate somebody, and it's really a green light. It's a green light, it's a ring light, it's an artificial environment, it's a dead environment. You can't feed off somebody's laughter, somebody's not heckling you and giving you the next bit of ammunition. There's nothing happening. So you've got to go into such a deep level of trust within yourself that what you're doing works. So that's what I think. That's why I didn't want to go in and do something completely different, because I thought I don't know that, so I don't trust it. But the stuff that I've been doing for 25, 30 years, I trust. I trust that stuff. So if I do it or I make a gag or I do something particular online, I have to trust the response. I have to trust that the response that's going to happen there is the one that happened in the live environment for so many years. So you get to a very deep level of trust, which a lot of us don't even have. We don't have that. Because that trust comes from what the inspiration is like in the live environment
It
on the
comes from
day.
the experiences.
Precisely, it comes from experiences. So I thought I'm going to now tap into that. But the whole thing, like I said, was a complete mistake. But the fact is we're now doing quiz nights, amazing chase around the world. And in fact, amazing chase tailor-made to suit your particular company. We've gone into companies, shot footage in their company and made that one leg of the amazing chase. Because it's something that you can now do. We go film it. Everybody is wherever they are in the world. So we go on a virtual travel around the world from the comfort of your own bathroom, bedroom,
What
lounge.
do you mean you go on a virtual?
So you literally, exactly that. So what happens is you've now got the situation where they come online, everyone's online, I say, hi, welcome to the Amazing Chase. We're going to go around the world in the next 45 to 90 minutes without you leaving the comfort of your own home. But we're going to transport you to certain places. So we show them a clip of New York. We show them a clip of Paris or Uruguay or Taiwan or New Zealand, wherever it is. They then watch this clip as individuals or groups, however they want to play, because obviously with all this new technology, you can do crazy stuff. Put them into groups, they go away and they solve the 3 or 4 challenges that you then pose to them while they're in the main room. So I'll say, right, watch the clip. After the clip, we then go into a vibe where the guy says, Right, these are the 4 challenges that you have to solve that is about New York. So then what happens there is quite simply that you just have a situation where they maybe have to watch the clip for an observational challenge. They have to find a coffee shop on a certain road in New York and tell me what the price of that coffee is. So they've got 7 or 8 minutes in a private space as a group or an individual to go and do that work. Come back and then they answer the questions with me. And the faster they are able to complete those challenges, the faster the more points they take into the next challenge.
How are they responding back to you?
Oh, no, that's the great part.
And Mentimeter. No, I'll tell you. I know. I see your face.
You just.
I did say there would be no swearing on the show, but
Yeah.
he's actually used some bad words.
I said,
What the
Kahoot,
hell's
Mentimeter.
What is that? What is that?
Okay.
What the hell's
Mentimeter.
What is that? What
Yeah,
is that?
okay. These are such incredible facilities because what you can do is you can engage the human being via their own handset. So I've got a URL. Right, we use Mentimeter. I love Mentimeter because we're able to tailor make it to whatever we do. So Mentimeter, I'm going to go right back to the basics. Mentimeter is a URL-based system. Okay, so you come online with me. The first thing I show you is a code and a QR code
Yeah.
and a number code, a numerical code. I say log on to www.menti.com. When you get there, I want you please to type in this code. When you type into that code, you then are immediately part of the game show that I've created on Mentimeter platform. You are now participating. I've done up to 1,400 people at once, right down to 10 people, which is amazing, by the way. People go, small numbers online, it's a pain. It's not, it's incredible. Because the level of engagement you get to 10 or 12 or 15 people
it's like
is
being live.
immense.
Yeah.
Am I right?
It's like being live.
If you get to 1,000 people, you're on a webinar and
Yeah.
you're just doing what you do,
Yeah.
and again, you go back to that trust
talking
factor
to a green
again.
light.
Yes,
Yeah.
but then you really go back to that trust factor. And you have to, the biggest thing I've found, by the way, with that green light thing is leaving spaces. Because we are so in tune, and it's the spaces that count.
learned that too.
Because we do. Am I right though?
Yeah.
Because you get to a point where you just go.
Yeah.
Because
you're getting nothing back.
Nothing.
So you've got to keep on going and think, I'm just going to flood them with stuff.
Precisely, and what's the one thing we hate the most? Dead air.
Yeah.
We hate dead
Yeah,
air.
dead air. It's us,
It's
our
the curse. It's the
big-
sin.
Our big thing. in
It
our
is
industry,
literally
dead
the
air.
thing that scares me the most.
Yeah.
It wakes me up at 3 o'clock
Yeah,
on a Friday
yeah.
morning.
But
Yeah,
again,
for those of you who don't know, so dead air is any time in a functional event where a speaker stops speaking, he walks off, and there's no music, there's no thing, or there's a stutter, or there's tea time and the music's not ready. So we call it dead air. In other words, it's called silence in a function. We call it dead air.
Dead air. And that dead air is literally the death knell for me. So what I've had to do is I've had to leave dead air in. Because I know if I do a certain thing, they need a bit of time to compute and to respond. Or laugh.
Yeah.
Or throw something at me.
Yeah.
Or type something in that I've asked them to do. So don't just keep going, keep going. So that's one of the big things I've had to learn. Because, like I say, experientially, dead air is a bad word.
Yeah.
Now, you've got to leave gaps in it. And in fact, you say, right, type in this code. Maybe you put a little bit of music in the background just to keep them busy
Yeah.
while they're doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But give them 15 or 20 seconds
Yeah.
of supposedly dead air to do that, to put the code in, to feel comfortable, to type their name in so that they're now part of this engagement.
I see a book coming on, Living with Dead Air.
Living with dead air. Yeah, in fact,
Embracing dead
dead air. But hold on, there's the thing though, right from the get-go. The only time you can make online work is when you embrace what online is capable of doing. We can't go into this with the mindset that we used to have. Oh, this online thing, it's a pain. I don't like it. The response is different. It's not good for you. Not good. I'm a human being person. I thrive on human contact. I thrive on people responding to me. If you go into it with that attitude, you're dead. It's done. You're going to achieve nothing online. Nothing. If you don't fall in love with the medium, you're in trouble. And I know it's a hard thing for a lot of us to do. We've been around a long time. For kids to do a 30-second TikTok, they love this stuff.
Yeah.
They love it. We don't love it. And I never even played TV games growing up. I mean, that's how anti that type of thing I
we
was.
didn't.
I never did. And even when Atari and those things came out, giving away my age, definitely. When that stuff came out, I wasn't a big fan. I never was. I wasn't okay. Went to the fish and chip shop and played arcade games all day. So when this came along, I mean, I love technology and what it can do, but I never thought about doing what I do online to a bunch of people who I can't actually reach out. I can't, if there's a dead spot in the audience, I can't go to that area
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
audience
and work it,
and
yeah.
work you.
Yeah, yeah.
And or alternatively, go to a really cool table and say, right, there's energy here. I'm going to make this energy spread throughout the room because jokes are great. So I'm going to make that energy just purely infectious throughout the room. I can't do that now. So what do? We make sure there's a couple of cameras on, if it's not a webinar. We make sure there's 1 or 2 cameras on so you can see a general response. And then through the engagements, through Mentimeter, every time I ask you a question, I've got 50 or 60 or 80 or 200 people responding and talking back to me. They are physically. So now suddenly I'm actually getting more response online than I'm getting in the real world. Because 80 people are saying, yes, I heard you, I'm typing in, that's my response. Or yes, I heard you, my ABC or my multiple choice question answer is this one. So every time a number comes up there, there's another person engaging with me. So now I've just changed the level of engagement or the kind of engagement that I expect. So the one thing that on Mentimeter, there's a little heart in the bottom. It's this great little thing. So as they log on and they put their name in, I said, do me a favor. I'm a human being. I need love too. Hit the hearts. Sometimes you get 300, 200, 400 hearts in 30 seconds. Sometimes you get 3. And you go, right, I need to work these guys a little bit harder because obviously they're not responding as quickly. By the end of the engagement, you're getting 50 or 60 or 70 hearts.
Okay, well, two things then. So how do you get around people who are not actually listening? You know, the guys who are told to be there at a certain time,
100%.
so I'm going to leave that on and I'm going to carry on doing whatever I'm doing over there.
Yeah.
You're not getting the thing. But the second thing, which is I think is actually brilliant that you've done now, is that with the fact that you've got a tool that people can engage in with you, you are getting more engagement than we get in a live conference.
Totally.
Because they have to sit there and be quiet. I mean, unless you're a speaker like me and you welcome the chips, you welcome the feedback. But even me, I've wanted to play games like test the team, beat the intro on a live thing. But all those handheld devices cost you thousands to have with you, so you couldn't. So you're actually getting actual feedback now from doing the keynote
in real time.
Gig.
And listen,
Amazing.
It goes even further. So you as Gavin, you do your keynote, okay? And there are 4 or 5 times in that keynote that you want to get what the audience is feeling, rather than just putting their hands up or doing this.
Yeah.
So you put a word cloud. So right up front. Now seriously, Gavin.
do a what?
A word cloud.
Okay, now, or everybody under 35.
I got nothing.
Everybody under 35 is going, Gavin, come on. I got nothing. Yeah, exactly. Listen, I had nothing either. I've seen it talked about before this.
Yeah.
So now you get to a particular point in your keynote, right?
Yeah.
And you say, right, I now need to gauge the audience's response. Okay. I want to know what they feel about this. In a word, just put one word in, type one word into this word cloud. It populates in real time in front of you on the screen. Literally on the screen, and the word that is the most powerful or the most put in or the most typed in is the word that's in bold in the middle of the screen. So essentially what we do is, it's on I'm going to make it really, really simple, okay? One, you could share screen and do it, okay?
Yeah.
You could go right down to the basics
Yeah.
and share screen,
Yeah.
because it is a URL.
Okay.
It is a URL. It looks like a web page. It looks like an old PowerPoint presentation with lots of bells and whistles.
Okay.
And it's beautiful. It's not boring. I mean, I use the word PowerPoint, which I shouldn't have done, because that's, again, another death knell. But the point is, you've got it on your screen. You talking, you could share screen, and in Zoom, you're still underneath, so you've still got a live human being. So you're still in the small screen while this is shared screen. And that shared screen populates in real time. So as I say, fantastic, Gavin, dunk, it comes up. So you're getting real, honest responses from people. If they don't want to be part of the word cloud, if they think what you're talking about is complete rubbish, they don't go, this is rubbish. They just don't respond. So you get all this incredibly positive stuff coming back at you. What's your favorite day of the week? What's your favorite band of all time? When we do the Amazing Chase, I do 3 word clouds in the beginning, just to give you an example of how the word cloud can work. I do 3. The first one is, if you could go anywhere, if the travel ban was lifted and you could physically leave tonight at 5 o'clock, where would you go? Put it in now. And they type it in on their cell phone. New York, Cape Town, Pofada, New Zealand, wherever. And I get I call it taking the temperature. So because I can't sanitize you and I can't take your temperature, but I want to find out who I'm dealing with here. So I go, okay, so the bulk of us want to go to New York. Incredible. Right. When you get on the plane, you're going to put your earphones on. What's the one song that you're going to play right now to put you in the best possible mood for the flight and to go to New York? And comes in. Jerusalem comes up. Right. Excellent. Now, in about 2 hours' time, when they feed you for the first time, it's going to be chicken or beef. What's it going to be? Chicken, beef. And this page populates. I've got you, Gav. I've got you. You're now in. You're playing with me. We're working. So I say, right, the typical person who works with company XYZ wants to go to New York, loves Jerusalem, and eats chicken 5 days a week. I've now got, that's what your all about. Then it goes, I hate chicken, I hate chicken. They're talking to me. Via Mentimeter, they're able to type in, I hate chicken. I don't want to eat chicken. Please give me beef. It's ridiculous. We're sitting in a studio environment with nobody else other than the camera, people online all around the country, all around the world, and they're talking to me in real time. So I'm getting a response there.
Sure.
That I used to just think I was getting that kind of response. Okay, who wants to go to New York? Hands up. Who wants to? If you love Jerusalem, give me a yeah, whatever. That's great. But it wasn't real. This is completely and utterly. When I said it wasn't real, it wasn't definitive.
Yeah.
Because some guys go, oh yeah, lekker. But if they don't want to play along, sometimes I put 5 options as to where you can go. Where would you like to go? And I don't put an option that they would like to go. So I don't want to go any of these. I'd like to go to this place in Canberra, blah, blah. And this is great, dude. I've got you so hooked in now.
Yeah.
You are now part of the game. You want to play. And so by the time I get through those 3 and I give them the first challenge, these guys they're buzzed and they're in it. And they're playing. So you also have a little number at the bottom of Zoom saying I've got 129 people online. And in the corner of Mentimeter, at the end of question 1, it tells me how many people responded out of the 129. So my game is, I need to see how close we get to the 129, because then I know he's playing, or he's looking away. If I get 50 out of 129, we got a problem. Not only necessarily with the platform, maybe with the company and what they've been doing. Is it the 8th hour of the day? Have they been sitting at their computers from 9 o'clock this morning? It's now 4 o'clock.
See, that was what I try to do, is like try and give away books.
Yeah.
Like you try and through the middle of it, you want to ask a question, like what do you like? I'll do the whole thing now in trust, and I ask the question, what is the foundation of love? And you stand back and you will say, put it in the comments column.
In the Zoom, yeah.
And but that I've only waited 5 seconds, but in my brain I've waited a minute. I'm like, no one's responding.
It's a
Nobody
month.
knows that.
Yeah.
So it'd be great to actually be able to put the 2 together. But now, and that's another thing. A lot of clients are asking, do you have MCs? Can you play games? Because I'm sitting here because we haven't spoken again. No, I don't know. But now the fact that you're doing that,
Absolutely. And the fact that when I leave here tonight,
my commission check is going to be
that's
so
the one
big.
That's the one thing.
Is that we've got the products. Okay, so we've got an amazing chase, we've got escape rooms, we've got quiz nights, we've got the ultimate game show. We cover every category from cars to movies to sport to pop culture to current affairs to spot the intro, all that lekker stuff that you were talking about just now. Spot the intro, who made this song famous? We do one called Musical Madness, which is just music online, a quiz for music online. Nobody ever leaves there without going, hell, my weekend's going to be awesome because of this.
Yeah.
Now we've got those products. So you know how easy it is for me to say, Gavin, come and run one for us. I'm doing 3 on a day. Let's say we're doing 3 on a day simultaneously. Because what a lot of clients are doing is saying, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get everyone online, but at 3 o'clock, I want those hosts to have a choice as to what activity they're going to go take part in, which you could never do in the real world.
Yeah.
So you can say, okay, we're going to do a music madness, an amazing chase, an ultimate game show, and bingo. You now decide wherever you want to go. Boom, boom, boom. If you want to go there, follow this link. Dunk, you're going. You're playing. So we've got 4 separate setups.
Man, the genius of this is the biggest challenge we had to team building in the flesh are the guys who are not sporty. They can't climb wires. The folks don't cook. They don't want to get involved. So the game, that's why when I had my fantastic race, the whole concept was playing silly games inside the room that people could, I didn't want them to do hanging from that and shooting this and filming. We did physical little, like a minute to win it. 100%. We played a little minute to win a balance an egg on something. That you dumbed it down. You're playing games now that some of it is physical, but most of it is up here.
90% of it is mental.
That's it.
But then you add something like
that's fully engaging people.
Well, it's more engaging.
Because I'm allowing you to engage at your particular level.
Yeah.
So if you want to get up and run around, we do something called scavenger hunt. If you want to get up with a scavenger hunt and run and grab a block of cheese out of the fridge, because I'll say it's yellow, it's almost always in plastic, you can eat it with everything. And if you don't, and people who don't like this, you shouldn't trust them. That type of vibe. And the guys come back with bananas, with fluoro, and then, you know what I mean? So they come back with crazy stuff. But now
you can have fun with it.
Exactly. Now, I'll tell you some of the bad stuff that's happened, but what? You've got no idea. You start describing something, and halfway through the description, you realize that this is it's a multi-purpose description. And oaks come back. They're not shy to put the camera on and show you the most bizarre things. I've seen stuff that literally, and that'll never happen in the real world. It can't. It can't happen. But then you get a guy who doesn't really want to run around. So I say, if you don't know what it is, doesn't matter. Put it in. Type it in. Tell me what you think it is. So if you want to engage at that level, great. You want to run around and go fetch a carpet or a mirror from your bathroom or your razor or whatever we happen, or the remote control. I love doing the remote control because it's so lekker to describe. This always causes trouble. whoever holds this, it holds the key to happiness in the house. You know, that type of stuff, you know. And Oak's come back with these remote controls. A lot of guys go, my cell phone, my kids always use my cell phone. So we get into this lacquer two-way debate with people. If you don't want to do that, type it in. And then I chirp the guys who typed it in. What? Are you joking? So he still feels like he's part of it, even though he didn't run around. So you can do different levels of engagement where, like you say, if it's slightly physical, you couldn't say to a guy, climb a pole, and those who don't want to climb a pole, tell me how you would climb a pole.
Yeah.
You know, that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? That's not going to work. So, and I agree with you, because so many times, I call it the old-fashioned team building, and I'm going to get flack for that. I know I am, but the old-fashioned team building where you've got to bring your tackies and prepare to get dirty, and then nonsense, man. It doesn't work. It doesn't work anymore. People don't want that stuff because there are too many people who feel that naturally, physically, they're not capable of doing that stuff. So what's the last thing they want to do? Expose themselves in front of the people that they work with. And if you've got 10% of the people who don't want to do it because they're scared of that exposure, done. Gig's over. Am I right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you say you're going to get in trouble. I believe in team buildings. No such thing. There's no such thing as team building. It's bullshit. There's no such thing. There's all of those games and stuff that you play. It's called relationship building. And yes, they say you can learn more about somebody in 5 minutes of play than you can in knowing them for a year. Because just put an oak on a golf course. You play oak golf, and you'll check how honest that oak really is. You'll 200%. See that. So if you play games, yes, you can build relationships, and it's fun. It's got nothing to do with team building.
Nothing.
Our concept of team building is a crock of shit because basically it says that everybody's going to cover everybody's arse and do their work. Okay, team building, they say there's no I in team, but there is a me. And here's the thing about you: if you do your job properly and you're world class at what you'll fit into any team in the world. I mean, you take Ronaldo, put him in any team, he's going to fit, buddy. He's going to fit because you're the best. Now, imagine having people who are specialized in their fields, and you have 11 of them in a team. You have flipping. Okay, who's it now? who's the top side now?
Man City.
They're
doing it now.
They're cleaning up the match.
They were doing it this year.
But having said all of that, you're so right. Team building, crock of shit. And in fact, let's put that out there and let's leave that hanging.
And let people flip it.
Not only is it, I've gone, and funny enough, the last 2 or 3 gigs I have actually done, I've spoken about team building and said, do you know, I've gone on so many team buildings and I've dealt with some of the big companies. And all I do is I say to the guys, so after your team building, who's doing the debrief?
100%.
And the guys look at you and go, what are you talking about? I said, no. The deep. So you're getting them to potjie kos cook, and you're getting them to tow track, you're getting them to make a movie, you're getting them to. So how do they take that lesson, what they learned, and put it into their everyday life so they can sell better? And they always look at you.
Otherwise, why are you doing it?
Exactly.
Otherwise, why are you doing it?
Exactly. So I started tagging on to team building and say, well, what game are you going to play? Okay, we're doing this. Then I look at what they do and I take it and I put it into business lessons.
Precisely.
Whitewater rafting. I've got a whole thing. We cucked off whitewater rafting for a day on the Tugela, and it was horrible.
But why?
And when I got the next morning, I said, like yesterday we did this, and these oaks are looking at me going, I said, guys,
I didn't realize that.
You've cucked off for a day on the Tugela looking for whitewater. Please tell me that some of those experience you're going to turn in for your sales manager. They just looked at me like, no, we just cucked off. And then I started unpacking.
More to it, man.
And now the whole thing was disruption. Where did we have the most fun? Did we have fun when the water was calm, or did we have fun when there was rapids? No, the rapids were fantastic. Then why do we live every single day wanting calm water, avoiding the rapids? When this disruption happens, that's the exciting time. And the oaks just look at me. And you look at the team building, I go, great job there, my boy. I hope you picked up your paycheck.
Or are you going to try and use this next time you do this?
See, my biggest thing is, first of all, we don't call it team building online now. We call it engagements. We call them engagements. We do, because that's all we want to do. We want to engage with you. And my biggest job is, my biggest goal is always to make you forget about the fact that you're on Zoom for 25, 35, 45, 75, however many minutes you've given me. Make you forget that you are full of Zoom and Teams and any other platform that they can come up with. Because oaks are tired. Oaks are tired. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, if I start with 129, I want to finish with 129. Those are my 2 goals online. So I'm going to entertain you, engage you for however long you give me, but my goal is to make you physically engage. So I'm going to watch the responses here in Mentimeter, and then I'm going to, at the end of this, if I've got 5 cameras on when I start, I want 25 when I finish. That type of thing. And it happens every time, Gav. I sometimes start engagements on Teams where I've got just literally circles with initials in. Circles, nothing. But say, right, everybody give me a thumbs up. They give me that little yellow thumbs up. All right, I've got it. And it'll be 5. 10 questions in, I've got five cameras on or 10 cameras on. Now people are going, I don't care if you can see me or not. I want to win this thing.
Yeah,
You know, cameras are on.
So there's always an incentive.
There's an incentive. And there's always, and as they come on, I respond to them. I go, how's it? How are you doing? Because the name comes up. Say, thank you so much. You made this fun for me as well now. Then some more people put cameras on. And I make people who put their cameras on that much more welcome in the environment so that other people want to be part of that little group, you know. And it works. And it works purely because of the fact that we know the system works well. And whatever one of the 9 or 10 engagements that we built is all, and by the way, they've all come out of disruption. Every one of those 10 things has come out of complete and utter disruption. I would not, I swear to you, Gavin, and this is on a stack of whatever you hold holy, I would not be sitting here having this conversation with you today about this online stuff if this didn't happen 1 year ago. There's no way. There's no way it would be happening. I knew the world was going digital. I was going to be the last to jump on because I didn't think we needed to. We were working in the real world.
Yeah.
We were booked. We were happy.
Yeah.
We were our career path was defined for us. We knew where we were going. We knew what we were doing. I was adding some stuff. I was leaving some stuff behind. You know, as we evolving as we do, and as we have done for over how many years. I then got to a point where there was nothing. Nothing, like you.
Nothing.
Nothing.
You
nothing.
wake up and there's nothing.
Nothing. Not only no bookings, because I can do something about no bookings. I can make a couple of phone calls. You know what I mean? I can phone a couple of agents. I can maybe put something out there. I could do something. But when there's absolutely no prospect of when I can work again, there's nothing. So the whole year of work got cancelled.